and he's weak with evil and broken by the world. How much longer? There's a devil waiting outside of. Oh, there's a devil waiting outside your door. How much longer? Yeah, of course. Ugh, that is a good question. How much longer? Oh, I look really good. I'm not gonna photograph myself, but I'm wearing a fancy Victoria's Secret uh, shirt, a really good one. That, and not only is it great looking, it says "Empower each other." Yes, but also I have purchased that shirt for astronomical money. The one that I have made as astrophysicist. I am really proud of my job, of my work, of my profession. I'm an astrophysicist. I used to be a lawyer, but that is so dull. Like, for me, like it's not enough to be a lawyer. It's not attractive. Like if I am uh, um, a have in the Epstein club of cute girls who have special needs, then my job is a sports person in space. It's not a lawyer. Ugh, a lawyer. Yes, I still do think like a lawyer, however. But that was my previous life. It was in my previous life. I have been a lawyer. But no, it's not that I hate it. Like I still do think like a lawyer, especially a trial lawyer, especially in the criminal law, and like all professions of law. And those are the relationships with the professors that I had. I mean, the difference being that I didn't suck dick of any other professor in the law faculty, and hence I haven't had straight A's. Well, I haven't. I haven't. I haven't assumed the butterfly position in front of the professor because why haven't I done this? Because not only did not know, nobody told me that it's required because my boyfriend, who I followed to the law faculty to be a lawyer, Lucas, has not spoken practically with me throughout the 5 years, practically at all. 6 years because I went to Australia and I went to study law in Australia in New York with a kangaroo. Uh, there's a devil waiting inside your yeah, but like it's well yeah, but you know Australian James Page. James Page, Australian, you know, Australian, you obtain a white Australian with like super thick, uh, like Australians are so valuable. Like if somebody, um, gives birth to a child or puts an orphan in Australia, then they really know what they're doing because then a person like this, like, a really rich, really wealthy like musicians, successful ones. You know, musicians are successful. Are very wealthy. Like it is called a rock star, but better yet, a metal star. Well, metal star is like kind of sexier. Are very rich, and they have it reflects their spouses. So rocks like musicians, but metal musicians have really advanced kind of like well um, yeah, vyšukané, which means like fancy spouses. So usually like being like probably like someone from Australia would be a good spouse because like uh yeah, but since I also am a really good musician in my Swedish band, then oh right, spouses. Oh, it's really cute because I like playing the spouses like game, especially looking for a spouse. Zostać rolnikiem on the song. Oh, I actually thought it was English, but this musician called uh, Job Dylan, Hiob Dylan. It's like something that has been invented in Israel. Oh yeah. So I like the spouse game. So uh, I'm actually right now I'm playing the game, and I'm doing the thing that I have done when I was in first grade, which is looking for a playmate. So it's gonna be like, oh, I'm looking for. And when I did this in first grade, this guy came to me to from a guy came. I don't know where he was from, but he was probably from. He was not from the Midwest, but he was American, and he came in his slippers, and he stayed at the Bristol Hotel, which is like the best hotel you can stay. And he was wearing like slippers, and I was like, ah. And but like that was the 19th century of age. And he came, and I was like, oh, I have a conference in London about programming the computers. I was like, ah, mm, that was very nice. And the men, but no, now even better. I met this friend a couple of years ago, like 2 years ago, 2.5, and I was like, so how old are you, happy person? Because it was like actually it was a transsexual person who used to be a man, and well, they still are a man. And I was like, so what is, I was like, how old? Because I was in jail. It was really bad. And I felt very weak because I didn't have food. I didn't have my vitamins because I have like a special requirements for supplements because I'm an athlete, so I require like special food, and I was in jail for 30 days. So I was like at one point I was like and I was like in the jail room with this friend of mine, and I was like, so how old are you? And the friend, they were like really fancy. They're very fancy. It was incredible. Like um yeah, because they have a lot of satellites. I'm sure, yeah. And it's actually Jupiter, but they're not a bitch. And they're really nice. They're not a bitch. No, they're not a bitch. And, okay, and I said, so I was like, oh, how old are you, friend? And the friend, this is the point. The friend, it was a transsexual man. Like it was like a very fancy kind of woman, and they were saying that they're a spouse, wife, but they're a man, of a law professor who's like really rich, and but they were like incredible. That was incredible. And they had like poroże dupy, which is like a that is a term that one of my friends made. I was like, yeah, that was like in 2008 or 7. I was like telling friend, I was like, yeah, the tattoo on the ass. And like, oh yeah, and this got antlers, like horns of the ass. I was like, but it's very unique. Like the most unique thing, apart from the boyfriend that I had, who was 14 in South Africa. And then, yeah, but it was a blonde, blue-eyed, and it was not Australia, it was South Africa, but they were like from English origin. It was a boyfriend that I had, Dean. I had also a boyfriend named Christopher Knight, who was born probably like the end of like 60s, and they were like, a really good photographer, and they sold me their mural, like a huge wall uh, photograph of someone who of Chase Manhattan, and yeah, but Chase Manhattan was a Leo, so they were really funny, and I think my Facebook still might say because I'm a copycat, so I copy people, but it turns out really cute. And when I formed Facebook, it was this like description like, about me, and it says like, so what about you? I was like, everything I need nowadays is a place to stay, a place to like eat, and like, I copied that phrase. I don't know. Probably I could have been modified, but I copied that from Chase Manhattan, who was extremely popular because why? Oh yeah, because they well, it depends whether they had musical talent, but it was a guy who I really liked in Manhattan, who well, they were really young, but they were not a twink. They had black hair and well yeah, but the age was like 22. Yes, but they were extremely photogenic and well and well, in during that time, really popular. But during that time, a lot of things were popular, and I even myself had Abercrombie clothing. And for when I returned from Manhattan, I even had like Abercrombie, and then I was wearing my Abercrombie in class with Pavo, like the professor of law. And the Pavo was probably like 35. No, he was like, I bet he was like 33, and he was a law professor. And yes, but they were really nice. They're very kind, and they would never ulupuj anyone. They would not never screw any. They are very very kind, a very kind person. Like unlike other law employees who have a really large ego, and especially Dil. It's like, what the fuck? A child is speaking Hebrew. They're going to be a fucking Jew. They are a fucking Jew, but now it's going to be a confirmed Jew that they speak the magical code, which is the modern Hebrew. Like a couple of hours ago, I've been in Arcadia Mall, and there was a couple in the organic people, like a one man that was a husband and wife, but they were blue-eyed and they were like really cute. I mean, I always meet people from Israel in the organic. There's a store right next to the post office and the banks called Organic 24, and it's really cute. I went into Citibank and I opened an account, and I also opened an account in M-Bank. And I like M-Bank. It's really cute. I like M-Bank. Of course I do like M-Bank. I had really good, because when I have been an employee of DitaFontees.com during, it was 11 years ago, 10 years ago. Yeah, it was such a good time, and I have been in the military. Yeah, I was like still in the military, but I was in the military, and but the thing, I'm not really nice. Like, I am not nice, but I don't have the patience to be nice, and oh, but I'm blessed by God because I'm feeling really healthy, because I thought, I thought I was afraid that I had the man flu. Fine, I'll get myself vaccinated. I'll get myself vaccinated on Monday. No, the Monday is 31st, and for me, 31st is sacred because it's the birthday of Angel is on the 31st. So for me, it's the 31st is for me a important date because it's the birthday of Inge, whom I very value, because I have respect for everyone who's older, wiser, and intelligent, generally older than me, and younger. Well, yeah, but when I go to like places and I say, well, I am a male, I am a male, I am a man, because, in France, they address you Monsieur, Madame, and I was like, well, I'm a Monsieur, but like, a guy, I was like, man, and then they were like really mean to me because they're like, oh my God, you're gonna be using their penis? I mean, I was like, no, I don't use a penis because It's just I've started over, and it's just it looks bad. Like I don't do those things. Like really, like no, because like when a guy sees a beautiful woman, they're like, oh my god, but young. No, because am really youthful looking because I'm a Virgo. Virgos look like eternally young. Like there's no way around it because I'm like a little baby of the sun. Like the baby sun, like the sun is like my family. So I look really young because I'm really small, and also like if my governing body is a really small celestial body, smaller than Eros, or Iris or Pluto, then like it reflects my character. I'm just like eternally young. I'm eternally at the gym and it's like it is love that is so proud. I'm so, yeah, Leos. I am so attracted to Leos. I'm attracted, like, Leos are incredible because they're like really erotic, and I'm not erotic. I'm not erotic. I'm not like sexual. But you know who's sexual? Jupiter is sexual. Neptune is, well, they're not sexual. They're like really reasonable and intelligible. And, mm, and Urano. Now, oh right, that reminds me, I should purchase an umbrella at the astrophysical store in Bartic. No, the people are so sweet, like Bartek, and they were like really nice, but they're younger than me, and I'm just like, and I am really bitchy. We used to have this friend Tim Bitchy, it was a long time ago, on Twitter. During the times when we had this like me and Frank had and Frank's husband, uh, the husband, or what are they? Are they a Scorpio? Probably, but they're dressed by Virgo, so like the Virgo dresses Scorpio. So, but they're very wealthy. They are a patent attorney lawyer in Connecticut, Connecticut uh, or Massachusetts, the same like 2 hours away from Grand Central. But Frank comes from like probably um, like L Y or from New Orleans or from the Pelican State or from Kentucky or from the Bluegrass State. Yeah, they're from like Southern air, but they're a pioneer. They're Virgo. Frank Zappa is a Snowdrift is a Virgo, and the most famous man. If in 2012, which was because in 2011, I have been living in the countryside, in the seaside. I was a sailor, and I have been spending time with the citizen of Norway. I've been spending with this citizen of Norway, and their son Olaf, and the other son. That was magical realism. I really liked that. Magical Realism by George Kosinski. Well, definitely not Garcia Marquez. Like, no. The Painted Bird, definitely, and a metal bird, and not some sort of, oh, 100 años de felicidad. That is like for the weak. God, we're strong people.